When Emma turned 90, her life, once characterized by luxury and comfort, changed drastically. She never imagined that, after a life dedicated to her family and building a financial empire, she would find herself completely alone in a nursing home. Before continuing, subscribe to our channel and activate the bell. It was a warm autumn afternoon when Emma sat at the window of her small room, looking out wistfully. Her hair, once thick and raven, was now thin and silver like the moon she often watched during long, lonely nights. She had lived a full life, full of happy moments and challenges faced head-on. The villa where she had spent most of her life, with its luxurious furnishings and indelible memories, had been emptied. Andrea and Sophia, absorbed in their careers and ambitions, rarely visited, leaving her alone to reflect on the cruel fate that had befallen her. Yet, deep in her heart, Emma knew that her story was not yet over. In the large hall of the nursing home, decorated with colorful streamers and a golden banner with the words "Happy Birthday, Emma," the staff had committed to giving her a small party. They knew how lonely she was and wanted to give her a moment of joy. As she was wheeled into the room, Emma's eyes lit up at the decoration and the table laden with sweets. In the center was a tall cake covered in vanilla frosting and decorated with delicate sugar roses. Even though her heart felt the weight of her children's absence, Emma smiled at every nurse and guest who came to wish her a happy birthday. Every hug, every smile, every kind word were little gifts that warmed her soul. During the party, the nurse Marta, who had grown fond of Emma, gave her a surprise, a video edited with photos of her life from her youth to her old age. The images, accompanied by a sweet melody, moved her to tears, but also brought a smile of gratitude. Emma had lived a privileged life, and her children, raised in comfort and opportunity, had always shown strong ambition. Since they were young, Andrea and Sophia had turned every opportunity into a springboard for their own interests, often using subtle manipulation to achieve their goals. As the years passed, their thirst for power and wealth had grown, suffocating not only the brotherly bond, but also the relationship with their mother. As Emma grew older, her presence was no longer perceived as a symbol of wisdom, but as an obstacle to be eliminated. Andrea and Sophia began to see her inheritance as a right that they had to obtain as soon as possible. It was in this context that they decided to move their mother to a nursing home, not to take care of her, but to remove her from control of the family fortune. The children's visits were increasingly sporadic and distant, filled with cold smiles and superficial conversations. But Emma continued to hope that deep down, Andrea and Sophia would rediscover the compassion and love she had tried to instill in them. Over time, Andrea and Sophia began to bring her a mysterious tonic, telling her that it would improve her health and clarity. Emma, confident in her children's good intentions, accepted the tonic without suspicion. But what she didn't know was that the liquid contained ingredients that were slowly weakening her, causing her to fall deeper and deeper into a state of mental confusion. As the months passed, he began to forget conversations, faces, and even the most recent moments of his life. His growing dependence on his children was not accidental, but part of a meticulous plan to gain control of his wealth. But Marta, the nurse who had grown fond of her, noticed the change in the old lady's behavior. With a deep sense of justice and concern, she decided to investigate further. Marta observed how every time Emma took the tonic, she seemed to lose a part of herself. Determined to find out the truth, Marta began to gather information and consult medical experts. Meanwhile, Andrea and Sophia, seeing their mother's decline, increased the dose of the tonic, convinced that they were now close to obtaining full control of the family assets. They even arranged a visit with a compliant doctor, an old friend of Andrea, who declared Emma incapable of managing her own assets. Emma, despite her mental confusion, sensed that something was wrong. One day, while her children were talking to the doctor in the hallway, Emma, hidden in her room, listened to the conversation. Andrea and Sophia's cold words pierced her heart. They were talking about the final sale of her beloved villa and the transfer of her bank accounts. In that moment, the fog in Emma's mind lifted for a moment, and the reality of her children's betrayal hit her hard. Although the pain was sharp, that moment of clarity gave her new resolve. Emma knew she couldn't let everything she had built be torn away like this. With Marta's help, she decided to act. Her first move was to contact a lawyer specializing in elder rights. Together they began to gather evidence of the plot orchestrated by her children. Andrea and Sophia, convinced they could get away with it, tried to defend themselves with all means. But with the support of Marta, her lawyer, and other residents of the nursing home who had joined her cause, Emma was able to prove that her children had acted with the intent to defraud her. The court not only gave her back the management of her estate, but ordered Andrea and Sophia to return everything they had unduly taken. Over time, Emma not only regained her dignity, but became an inspirational figure, proving that even in the darkest situations, truth and justice can prevail. And so, on the threshold of her final years, Emma was no longer just the victim of betrayal, but a woman who had rewritten her own destiny with strength and determination. Despite the pain her children inflicted on her, she found a new peace within. Instead of letting resentment consume her, Emma decided to look forward, dedicating herself to a new mission, helping vulnerable seniors and fighting family abuse. But Emma knew she didn't have much time left. Reflecting on the future, he decided to do something meaningful with his assets. After all he had been through, he wanted to make sure his wealth was used for something good, for those who had proven to have a sincere heart. So Emma made a decision as generous as it was unexpected. She decided to leave a significant portion of her estate to Marta, the nurse who had supported her in the darkest moments. Marta had become a true friend, loyal and devoted, beyond professional duty. The rest of his assets, including the villa that was once the symbol of his life of comfort, he decided to donate to the nursing home, Il Giardino degli Olmi. He wanted those funds to be used to improve the lives of other residents and to create new facilities that could offer a safe and dignified refuge to the elderly in difficulty. Emma left this world with a light heart, knowing she had made the right decision, transforming her pain into a positive force for the good of others. And so, her legacy was not only material, but above all human. An example of love, justice, and gratitude that would continue to live through Marta and through future generations who would find comfort in the nursing home she had supported. Did you like this story? Leave a comment below. Thanks for watching the video till the end, and see you next story.